An adaptation of The Three Little Pigs.
Once upon a time, in a medieval village long ago, there was an old mother pig who had 3 little pigs and not enough food to feed them. So when they were old enough, she sent them out into the world to seek their fortunes.
The first little pig was very lazy. He didn't want to work at all, and he built his house out of straw.
The second little pig worked a little bit harder and he built his house out of sticks. To get these sticks, the pig walked through a dark and gloomy forest with screams in the distance. Then they sang and danced and played together for the rest of the day.
The third little pig worked hard all day and built a castle out of bricks. It was a sturdy castle complete with a fine fireplace, chimney, and matching gargoyles placed out front. It looked like it could withstand the strongest winds.
The next day, on a cold and rainy night, a wolf happened to pass by a hardware store with a rusted chainsaw in the window, so he bought it. Then he walked by the lane, isolated far from the rest of the town, where the 3 little pigs lived.
And he saw the straw house, and he smelled the pig inside. He thought the pig would make a mighty fine meal, and his mouth began to water. So he knocked on the door and said,
Little pig, let me in, let me in.
But the little pig saw the wolf's big paws through the keyhole, so he answered back, No, 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 not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin. Then the wolf showed his teeth and said,
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. The wolf opened his jaws very wide and bit down as hard as he could, but the first little pig escaped and ran away to hide with the second little pig.
The wolf continued down the lane, and he passed by the second house made of sticks. And he saw the house, and he smelled the pigs inside, and his mouth began to water as he thought about the fine dinner they would make.
So he knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me in, let me in. But the little pigs saw the wolf's pointy ears through the keyhole, so they answered back,
No, 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 not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin.
So the wolf showed his teeth and said, Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down.
So he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. The wolf was greedy and he tried to catch both pigs at once, but he was too greedy and got neither. His big jaws clamped down on nothing but air, and the 2 little pigs scrambled away as fast as their little hooves would carry them. He was so angry that he burned the house down to destroy any belongings the pigs had left behind.
The wolf chased them down the lane and he almost caught them, but they made it to the brick castle and slammed the door closed before the wolf could catch them. The 3 little pigs, they were very frightened. As they screamed at the top of their lungs, they knew the wolf wanted to eat them.
And that was very, very true. The wolf hadn't eaten all day, and he had worked up a large appetite chasing the pigs around, and now he could smell all 3 of them inside, and he knew that the 3 little pigs would make a lovely feast. So the wolf knocked on the door and said,
little pigs, let me in, let me in. But the little pigs saw the wolf's narrow eyes through the keyhole, so they answered back,
No, 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 not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin.
So the wolf showed his teeth and said, Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Well, he huffed and he puffed, he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed, but he could not blow the house down. At last, he was so out of breath that he couldn't huff and he couldn't puff anymore, so he stopped to rest and thought a bit. He then remembered the chainsaw he had bought earlier in the day.
The wolf retrieved it from his backpack and quickly and easily cut through the 3 little pigs' front door. With nowhere to go, the 3 little pigs were caught at a dead end.
The wolf brutally chopped up all 3 pigs with the chainsaw and roasted them for dinner over the fire.